This is probably the best £2.50 I've ever spent. Welcome to the video, I'm Jord, and today we're driving a Peugeot touring car in Race07. If you're unfamiliar with the format of these videos, we take a car, start from the back of a grid and see how far we can get up. Although we're not going to get very far if we start making corners like that. This is the Hockenheimring, the national circuit, in some touring cars from the Race07 game, and what a game it is. As we dive around the outside, get a couple of positions in T2, and there's a big gaggle of cars up ahead. The Alpha coming back around the outside, but we managed to keep our position there. Coming into the kind of hairpin now, we're going to brake a little bit early and just wait for a gap to open up, and there's one there, so we're going to sneak the car into that gap, get a couple of positions up round that corner, so we did pretty well there, although he's still side by side with us, but we managed to find another little gap and sneak it up the inside there. A quick check of his mirrors to see where he is, and we can start chasing the rest of the pack. I've got the difficulty on 100%, not quite 110%, because it'd take a lot longer to kind of do this thing. So we look for another gap. There isn't really one there, but we make one with a little bit of contact. Proper touring car move that. And we're on to the back of the next car, getting as line a lot wider through there, so we can carry a bit more speed. And I think we're going to get a bit of a better exit than the car ahead. Not by much though, we're only kind of creeping ahead. So I'm going to have a look up the inside, but now we don't want to do anything too silly into that T1, but we do get a better exit there, and we can pull alongside him now. Brake a lot later at that 100-metre board, and get the car round, defenders inside. Can't see him in my mirrors, so we're all good to go down the straight. Now we've got a second, let's talk about the game. I bought this game a couple of years ago. Before I had the PC I have now, I had an absolute potato of a machine. It had a 128 megabytes graphics card. Absolute massive amounts of VRAM there, as we kind of do a bit of a dive bomb. You'll see me do that quite a lot in that corner. But yeah, my computer before this one was an absolute potato, so I wanted a racing sim that my potato could run, and I saw this for £2.50, so I thought, why not? And long story short, I have over 300 hours of playtime on this game. I got a little bit addicted, but it's such a great game, is Race07. Even to this day, I still enjoy getting the old touring cars out and giving it a bit of a bash. And it's not just touring cars. You have a few DLCs with different things, but even the base game content, you get, I think, Formula BMWs, some minis, and you get some free basically Formula 1 cars, or Formula Race Room cars as they're called in the game. And so it's really awesome game. So if you do have a potato PC and you need a game that will basically run on it, I'd say go for this one. As we make up another place there, round into T2, quick check of the mirrors, we're all good, and we're going to make up a bit more ground on this Chevrolet. Awesome. Let's see if we can get a move into the hairpin. We're just going to back off. There's the gap, so we're going to go for it, and we should be able to get that move done nicely. Up into what I'm going to call dive bomb corner, because yeah, I keep dive bombing the AI on that corner, but we're not quite close enough for a move just there. And yeah, these touring cars are the 2006 touring cars. They have this Peugeot 407, I believe it is, which I think is a pretty cool car, so I like driving this one. The only kind of thing is with this game that's a little bit odd is you can only have 25 cars on a grid, and there's more than 25 cars in this kind of, I don't know what you call it, but this group of cars. There's more than 25, so it's a bit odd, but hey ho. As we're gonna look to the inside now of the Alpha for T1, but we're gonna back out, no crazy moves into T1, as we get a big punt from behind, and that looks like he's just kind of buggered his own race up there, so it's all good for us. Doesn't take us too long to catch back up. We're sort of coming towards the end of the lap now, as we caught back up with the Alpha, and see if we can get a move done on him. Yeah, really awesome game this, and even though it is a little bit dated, it still teaches you the basics of sim racing. You will still lock up your brakes if you brake too hard and put too much heat in them. You'll spin your wheels if you put your foot down too early. You know, the basic physics are there. So it kinda, and before I did start going onto the online world of sim racing, this did give me, I suppose, a bit of groundwork as to what it'd be like to actually drive racing cars in a sim. Alright, we're gonna have a look at this Seat, I believe it is, and we're gonna go, of course, for the dive bomb, into dive bomb corner, get another position up there, and now we're gonna chase down the next car. Alright, so it doesn't take us that long. Dive bomb corner again on the next lap. But this time is actually gonna do the old switcheroo, get the cutback on us, so we go side by side here. We're gonna give him a bit of a squeeze. He tries to come back on the track, but we're gonna get the inside line into the next corner and get the job done on him, as we now look to catch up to the next car. And the AI in this game are actually pretty good fun to race with. They can be quite aggressive if you turn them up, and they are pretty quick. So yeah, it's definitely not the worst AI. We get a little bit wide there, but we'll keep us putting as much power as we can. And of course, these being front wheel drive, if you mash the power, your car's just going to understeer off. We take T1 much better. I think that's probably the best we've taken it all race. We're going to tuck into the slipstream of this next car, which I believe is a Seat. He tries closing the door on us, but we just managed to sneak it through in time. A quick look behind is long gone. So that's another move done. And once again, we're going to try and catch up to the next car in front. And this is kind of towards the end of the lap. This is the last lap. Again, another move up the inside, a bit of contact there, but it's touring cars, it's all good. As we come now to this kind of long sweeping left-hander, get a nice wide line out of here. We're in P9, so we just need one more position to get into the points, as I get it a little bit wrong round here, drift it round the last corner, and it is going to be P9 in the end for us, so no points unfortunately, just one position off. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video guys, I can definitely recommend getting this game for £2.50. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.